Hello and welcome everyone today for a new video. I hope everyone is good. Today we're gonna talking about the astrology, everything about it. What is it, where it's come from, the history, everything, how you can use it, how it works. Some of us know what is it and some other are completely lost. So I try to make this as simple and complete as possible that I can. You have to know that it's just only some few documents and information about the history of astrology. So I did the best I can. Alright? But it's really complete. The astrology is a science that has been used since centuries, but it's strangely a science that is not recognized. It's important to know that there are different kinds of astrology, like from the old civilization, Inca, Maya, Egyptian, Chinese, and other, or the one, from example, that we use today, the tropical, the Vedic, the humanistic, structural, sidereal, holistic, karmic, and other. There are so many that I can't give you a number, but today I'm focused on the principle and like a little everywhere. So some will give exact prediction, other think that it's control the whole life or only a part of it, some action, or then we have every time a free choice. So there are several different types. The problem is that many people are confused between the astrology and the astronomy. They are very similar, but the difference is that astronomy is a universal science that studies the movement of the planets, the composition of stars, and all the things in the universe. And the astrology is based on the astronomy, but it's considered as a divinatory art and a set of myths with different symbolic representation, as for example the 12 signs of the zodiac that we know today in the West. And these different symbols are linked to celestial configuration, which are the movement of the constellation, the position of the planets, and this change impact this world. So this means that we are connected to the universe. So the constellation are simply the group of stars that form different shapes on the sky that you can see. The most famous constellation is Orion for many reasons that we will see in the future. But first of all, it's just because it's the most easier to recognize on the sky with the 3 aligned points. Today in the West, we use one type of astrology in principle, the tropical, that many know for analyze that you probably already did, that what is your personality according to your sign, for some prediction, looking at your horoscope, how will be your love, money, work, for this week, this month, this year, or whatever. It's not really taken seriously anymore. It's more considered like something cool or funny, and it seems like some superstition. And that's just because people don't know what is it today. Then nowadays it was something that they was learning at school, and today we just learning some other stuff. And for some people it even seems something like bad. And it's really sad that those information are forget, judged as not important, or especially very badly informed. So I did for you a quick explanation of how the tropical astrology works in the West today. And after you will understand a little bit more easier for the other two. So each of us has a natal chart, that is the position of the planet and the stars at the time of our birth. It shows us different signs that describe our personality. The tropical have 12 signs. These 12 zodiac signs are placed at different times of the year. We all have 3 signs, which one is the main one. First, each of these signs belong to one of this group of elements: fire, earth, air, and water. The first main sign are the sun sign, which represent our social self, our true personalities, and our strength. The second is the moon sign, which show our deep emotion. And the third one is the ascendant, which show our nature, our appearance, our conscience. So these 3 signs describe specifically our personality, which explain why, for example, me, I'm Sagittarius, but I'm not really react and acting like another Sagittarius, because my moon sign is gonna be Libra and it's gonna be Scorpio. After that, to know for more details which sign rules the different planets, and those ones show a specific subject like conscience, hope, love or war, and the different house which are like the family, works and travel. I know it seems like a lot, especially when you see the natal charts. But if you want to know all of this, it's just simple. It can be described easier. If you know the information of your birthplace and your birth date, the hours and the minutes, you can go to a website and just you have plenty of them. You can just write calculated my natal chart. Of course, you can also learn how to do it yourself, but it's a lot of work like everything. Now I would like to tell you about the history of astrology, because it's important to know where these things come from, which our society don't use anymore and reject today. So the astrology exists since the first civilization. The oldest is created in Mesopotamia by the Sumerian. So whatever it is, the first zodiac sign or the first horoscope, it will be found from them first. They had discovered the first planet, the constellation, and used the astrology for season, harvest, prediction, and the religion. And they have established the first real sky map and show sign of divine communication. The greatest evidence of astrology from the Sumerian is a set of stone which constitutes 70 texts that explain their mythology, showing us the different signs of the zodiac. At the same time, in South America, the first civilization, the Q'ero, called this the ideology of cosmovision and made 20 zodiac signs, and their concept was that the stars were connected to the nature. Also there we have found the first observation, a creation of a calendar, and some geoglyphs, which are a giant sign or line created in the ground that continue to be discovered, but they are connected to the cosmovision, as with, for example, the sign of the monkey. So back to the West with the second more important people to use astrology, and is it the Egyptian, who created the Decan calendar. The Decan are the signs separate in 3 parts. For example, it means that the sign of the end of November, Sagittarius, on the first Decan, will be different than the one of the end of December in the third Decan. And this will help to create the first calendar in history, which already mentioned the 365 days. Today there are many traces and mysteries related to the civilization and their connection with the astrology, and we're gonna come back with this later, no worry. Later came the Babylonian, who took the Mesopotamian astrology and added some new research and ritual, and they developed some many successful astronomical predictions. Then the Roman came and it took over, mixing the Babylonian astrology with the Egyptian, changing some sign, and created the one that we know today in the West. Of course, with some change since this time, but it was at this moment that they shared to everyone and not only to the rich people and the astronomer priests, who were until here the only one able to understand these things. Let's go in India now with the Vedic astrology, or Jyotish in Hindu. This astrology still exists, and it's even the oldest religion still practiced today. So they developed the same system that we know, but different. Their system is called Veda, with the polar star Vega, and it's remained the same since his creation. Compared to the tropics, which change the polar stars depending on where the north of the Earth points. And now it's pointing to the star Polaris, and before 2000 the polar stars was called Tuban. So the Hindu astrology is divided into 27 nakshatra, and the nakshatra are like the zodiac sign. They are the name given to the constellation. These nakshatra are the different parts that will describe your personality, but with different symbols, and here we can see the equivalent. Some are cut and are mixture of 2 signs that we normally use. So the 9 different planets are also in 3 different groups, and I will explain very easier. Angel, human, devil. Like a kind of people who are nice and the one who are acting humanly according to the consequence, and the one who are more rude and like bad. So also, if you want to discover your own, you're right on the research calculated by Rashi. In North America, mainly the Indian also has their astrology, created more than 3,000 years ago, called the medicine wheel. Is it the vision that everything on earth has energy, mineral, plants, humans, spirits, and that the world was formed of vibration? And this is something that has never been denied by the molecular physics. Their horoscope are also separated into 12 signs in 4 different groups of animals: the butterfly, the turtle, the earth bird, and the frog. Also associated with the 4 elements. You can also find it on internet, but be careful because it's only on relation about your birth dates, but you have a difference between the north and the south hemisphere, and not every website is gonna tell you. Let's move on to the Chinese astrology, which also still existed, and so many people in the world today know the Chinese sign, which is based on 12 different animals and change annually because their lunar cycle is 12 years and not 12 months. So it's really easy to find your sign. It's determined only by your year. This is a form of astrology that has helped to create a calendar that is still used in the Feng Shui. It's another science that is connected to the metal, but in a whole day it was based on the astronomy and the connection to the human. So astrology. So I don't know what you think about what I told you so far, even if it's a lot of information and it's going to be complicated, I understand. But the part that disturbs me is the one that is coming. Because before, around the Middle Age and the Renaissance, with the monotheist religion, these things start to be very much frowned upon, and in a sense they force all those who still believe in a polytheist religion to convert themselves. Polytheist at this time was considered pagan, which means it was very bad. The line between witch and philosopher was not very established yet, so they was very quickly called witch and burned at the time. And on the American continent, their beliefs start to disappear when the colonization starts because, you know, the witch, shaman. And today, the word shaman is very bad in some place. And came from these days. And it's very hypocritical because some of the great royal families had advisors who were considered as pagan. For example, the researcher William Gilbert, the first physician of the Queen Elizabeth I, one of the physicians who discovered and published the law of magnetism and electricity. Or exactly at the same time, but in France, we have also the astrologist Michael Nostradamus, who worked for the Queen of France, Catherine de Medicis, which he had predicted the death of her husband, which had happened in the way like he said. But it was very rare to see pagan among rich people. But at the same time, there was in the research of medicinal knowledge and astrological knowledge, so some practice were okay. But actually, the things I think is just that it depends who you was. Because it's not like at this time they wasn't racist. So that's it guys, I'm done for the astrology today, but I would like to make a small comment because I sincerely think that all these things are connected and they are true in a sense that we just gotta know to do the difference. And I know some of this part you will probably like to talk about it more, but no worry, step by step, one by one, I will come back on it. It's just that it's really complicated to don't talking about the mythology when you're talking about the astrology. So I hope this video and this subject is interesting you. Hope you're asking yourself the right question. One of the things that I would like you to do before the next time is to looking for one of your horoscope, one of your sign, especially whatever you want. Just tell me on the comment which one you decide, if it describe you or not at all. Me, you guess I did all of them, and I'm gonna talking about it and explain what I'm thinking when the time's coming. The next video is gonna talking about my favorite civilization, the Egyptian, and especially the mythology and the connection between the mythology and the sky. I see you soon. Have a great night. Have a great day. Peace out.